Let's play as a Bilby and solve a few puzzles. Macrotis, A Mother's Journey is about that, and in a few aspects it might even remind you of Secret of Nim. Watch the movie to see what I'm talking about. You are a Bilby, a mother of 3 that got separated from her kids through a heavy summer rain that flooded everything. She landed somewhere in a hole she cannot climb up, and as a result, her only option is to go down and find a point where it goes up again. Midway through, Miss Bilby meets a magician that, after his death, starts to support this little creature with his magical powers. And yes, a Macrotis is a real animal. Normal humans might know them as Bilbies or maybe even rabbit bandicoots. Yeah, the ending is quite obvious, but let's look past that. This is a puzzle platformer with no enemies at all, so you can relax. Well, almost. Even though over here, there is an arachnophobia option that you can turn on or off. Having it on will save you the horrific images of spiders. But if you turn it off, then you will see a spider here and there. But it's only in the very first area, so this option doesn't really matter all that much. The challenge here will be you going from area to area and trying to pass it by using your brains. So you better have a very high IQ, because otherwise you will have a very hard time here. Nah, it's not that difficult to figure these puzzles out. Sometimes you just need to think for a bit on how you could overcome the area. And if you made a mistake, then no worries. By pressing up on the D-pad, at least on the Nintendo Switch version, then you will restart the puzzle in that area. Throughout the game you will get a few new powers, and the most you will use is your soul getting out of your body, that somehow can still touch and manipulate solid objects. Now let's not think too deep about this, because we are in a magical world with a talking Bilby. Still, this ghost mechanic, or whatever you wanna call it, was a nice idea and opens up a whole new aspect on solving, well, any puzzle. Once this ability is available, then you will have to use it all the time, for example, to go through walls. Another ability later on is to build walls, but keep in mind that you can only have 3 of these walls up at the same time. If you build another wall, one of your previous ones will disappear. Building this wall will not stop the immigrants from invading the country. Sorry, I could not resist this very bad joke, but you will use it to reach higher platforms or to block projectiles that can kill you. Well, those are the only real abilities you get, but also the only ones you need for this 3, maybe 4 hour game. Opening doors, moving blocks of stone and chewing through ropes will be part of your basic abilities. Well, alongside jumping around and, well, climbing. But pay attention, because some bridges might collapse if you walk over it at your normal speed. To avoid this, you just need to walk slowly, or you stay put and let your ghost walk over it. But funny enough, while I understand why the character cannot walk over the bridge at her normal speed because maybe vibrations or even the weight of Miss Bilby, somehow you can move blocks right over it without issues if you walk slowly. And here I thought sliding the blocks around would cause vibrations as well, or that the weight would be an issue. Silly me. Okay, I'm trying to joke around a bit, but this game isn't all too bad at all. It's a somewhat charming puzzle platformer that sounds quite nice and visually reminded me of games like Heart of Darkness. The only real gripe I have here is that the Bilby could have looked a bit better. That long cartoony nose is kind of weird, but hey, it was a stylistic choice, so yeah, I get it. There are only 2 voice actors. One is the narrator that will also voice the magician, and the other is Miss Bilby. Both were quite fun to listen to, but Miss Bilby's narrator sounded a bit too carefree, especially in the beginning. So from time to time I actually like to play puzzle platformers like this, and for what it is, supposedly even the only game developed by proud dinosaurs, you should buy the game just for the developer's name alone, because then you will also be a proud dinosaur yourself. Then Macrotis is actually a nice little experience.
Well, focus the magical power inside of you, and imagine hitting the wall with it.